Hi friends, thank you for joining me today. I bet you're all wondering how to make a Z-fold, a fun fold type of card. So let's get started. I've chosen to use our new two-tone cardstock. This is pumpkin pie. You'll notice it has the pumpkin pie color on one side and then a tad lighter shade on the reverse. And if I tore this piece of cardstock, it has a white core. The color is printed on each side, not dyed throughout. So to make a Z-fold card, we start with, this is a card base, 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score, the first score mark is at 2 1/8. So remember to use your score, whoops, mine popped out here, scoring tool, and not your cutting blade. And the second score mark is at 5.5. Oops, I have this in here the wrong way. I'm sorry, the second score mark is at 4 1/4. I read that wrong. The card base is 5.5. Card base, 8.5 by 5.5. The score marks are at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And then you kind of do this mountain valley fold, and it looks like a Z. Next, I've chosen to use some Halloween designer series paper. This is called Halloween Spells. And I've cut 2 panels at 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and we're going to attach those to our card base. Use my stamp and seal here. The nice thing about this designer series paper is you can use either side. Oh no, did my tape run out? It does not want to work here. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I think I'm out of tape. There we go. All right, it was just being finicky. There we go. So we're gonna place that on this panel. And then I'm going to flip it around. Polka dots are on the left here, and we have these polka dots on the right on this inside panel. Wow, I'm struggling with this today. There we go. These stripes are pretty too. This is Pool Party. And the purple color in this paper is Gorgeous Grape. Next, so here's our Z-fold. Opens like this. I cut a couple deckled rectangles for the inside of our card, and then we'll layer this on the front of the card. Remember, you're only going to want to apply adhesive on this left side. So first, we're going to stamp the outside. I've chosen to use this big kettle, and I'm going to use Memento ink, Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This is a big stamp. I had to grab my extra large acrylic block here. Photopolymer stamps are awesome to use. Make sure you use them on a foam pad to get the best impression, because you can see acrylic, or excuse me, photopolymer stamps, you can see right through where you're stamping. Then we're going to stamp some bubbles. These images are from the Potions and Spells stamp set. This is an online exclusive, only available online in the Stampin' Up! Store while supplies last. Online exclusives are typically available while supplies last. Now we're going to stamp in Memento the bubbles. There we go. I hope my head wasn't in view. Sorry about that. Okay. Then we're going to clean those off. Always remember to use your bone folder when you make those folds so you get crisp folds. And we're going to use our Stampin' Chamois to clean our stamps off. I always like to try to get the ink off on a scratch piece of paper first. Clean off the bubbles real quick here. Okay, we're going to go, and next we're going to get our sentiments, which are also in the Potions and Spells stamp set. We're going to use Double, Toil, and Trouble. It's easier to put the stamp upside down so you can read it in the correct direction and then place it on your block. And for this, we are going to use Memento. We're going to stamp that closer, kind of in the center, a little bit more to the top of this inside piece. And finally, we're going to stamp Happy Halloween in Pumpkin Pie. So let's clean that sentiment off real quickly. You may think my chamois looks super dirty. It's not. This is reusable. Just keep it moist. I like to keep mine in a stamp case. It's always ready for me. So let's grab Happy Halloween. Again, I like to place word stamps so I can make sure I'm placing it straightly. Grab my pumpkin pie ink. I'm going to stamp the words Happy Halloween right below our Double, Toil, and Trouble. There we go. Okay, now we're going to color in our little bubbles with some Granny Apple Green, our Stampin' Blends. If you'll notice, there are two sides to a Stampin' Blend. We have the thicker side and the thinner side, as notated by the thicker bar and the skinnier bar. I'm going to use the skinny bar for this. We're just going to color in a few of these bubbles just to add some interest to this. I'll pick these littler ones maybe. I'll do this little guy, this little guy. I'm not really doing any blending. I'm just choosing to use a Stampin' Blend as my coloring tool. Stampin' Blends do come in two shades. This one happens to be the light Granny Apple Green. There is also a dark Granny Apple Green. Let me grab that. So it's kind of hard to tell by the cap, but this one is a little bit darker than this one. I keep mine labeled on the ends so that I can see at a quick glance which is which. Let me move those out of the way, and we are ready to attach our pieces. So let's get my foam mat out of the way here. And we're going to put some stamp and seal. If I can get it working again. There we go. This one is going on the inside, so we can put adhesive on all 4 sides. And we're just gonna place that right in the center of this panel, like this. And then we're going to take our kettle with our potion. Okay, there we go. I have my little silicone mat here because sometimes that helps get the adhesive moving. And then once it's on the paper, it grabs itself. There we go. I just did what I told us not to do. And I put adhesive on all 4 sides, which we don't want to do because we only want the adhesive on this half of the panel. So we are going to have to try to remove this adhesive, which we can do. It's just going to take a little work. Rub that off so you can see. You can always fix a mistake. Mistakes are made. It's not the end of the world. We're not going to ruin our project. We're just going to peel this off real quick. Sorry about that. Probably shaking the camera too. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's just get all this glue off of here. My hands are super, super sticky. Okay. A little bit more to rub off. This is what happens when you try to talk and stamp or assemble at the same time, right? I was not paying attention. Now I got all these little glue googies. I'll just get that off my fingers so I can continue with this. Oh my goodness, it doesn't want to come off. Yeah, stick it to a piece of paper maybe. There we go. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we're good. Now we are going to adhere the outer panel. Remember, adhesive only on the one side. We're going to center that right there. And we have our Z-fold. I'll have to do some more adhesive removal, but you get the idea. Double, double, toil and trouble. Happy Halloween. So, another orientation that you can do a Z-fold would be landscape. This one, the card base is 11 by 4 1/4. So 11 inches by 4 1/4. And then it's scored at 2 3/8 and 5 1/2. Then I cut 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper for the panels. And I also used the same deckled rectangles, just changed the orientation. One for the inside, one for the outside. Layered it like so. So we have our little bird, probably a crow, on top of a stack of books. Inside, a little hocus pocus. Happy Halloween. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make a Z-fold card. It's one of my favorite fun folds. Can use it for any type of occasion. I chose Halloween to focus on our Halloween memories. Excuse me, Halloween Spells Designer Series paper and Potion and Spells photopolymer stamp set. Thanks for joining me today. We'll get together to craft soon.